my dear learners, for this course on engineering graphics. In our module 3, we are discussing about orthographic projection of solids. Let us move on to solve our problem number 6. In this lecture, the problem number 6 states that a hexagonal prism of 25 mm base and 50 mm axis length rests on HP on one of its corners of the base, such that the two base edges containing the corner on which it rests makes equal inclination with HP. Draw the projection of the prism when the axis of the prism is inclined to HP at 40 degree and VP at 30 degree. The hexagonal prism is resting on HP. Therefore, in the first position, I should make this hexagonal prism stand on HP without inclining to any of the planes. Since it is resting on HP in the first position, in the second position, I should show the inclination of the prism with respect to HP itself. He is clearly stating the axis inclined to HP at 40 degree. In the third position, I should show the remaining inclination. The remaining inclination is inclination with respect to vertical plane. Again, he is stating the axis is inclined to vertical plane at an angle of 30 degree. If you clearly observe, since we are inclining the axis twice, definitely the length of the axis will be reduced. Therefore, in the final position, we should find the apparent inclination for this apparent axis. What he has mentioned in the question are true inclinations for the axis. Let us move and solve this problem. In the first position, hexagonal prism will stand on HP. In the second position, axis will incline to HP at an angle of 40 degree. Finally, in the third position, axis inclined to VP at 30 degree. What is given is the true inclination. We should find the apparent inclination, which is nothing but beta angle for this problem. Let us draw the top view and front view in the first position. Since I want corner towards my right hand side, as I said in my previous lecture, if you draw vertical line as a reference whose length is equal to the edge length of the hexagon, you will get the hexagon resting with its edges. If you draw an horizontal line taking it as a reference and construct the circle, you will get corner on either sides. So therefore, let us take an horizontal line as a reference and construct a circle whose radius is equal to the edge length of this hexagon. The edge length of this hexagon is 25 mm. Therefore, draw a line of 25 mm. Before that, let me mark the XY plane. So this is vertical plane and this is horizontal plane. So draw an horizontal line as a reference whose length is equal to the base edge length, which is 25 mm. Now, taking this as a reference, construct a circle. The radius of the circle is equal to the base edge length, which is 25 mm. Now, with the same dimension, cut equal arcs. Join these arcs, you will get the hexagon resting with its corner. This completes the construction of hexagon. Now, in the top view, I can see the top face, whereas bottom face is invisible. Therefore, A is visible, A1 is invisible. B is visible, B1 is invisible. C is visible, C1 will be invisible. Coming for the axis, O is visible, O1 is invisible. Now take the projection. Mark the axis whose length is given as 50 mm. Mark it with dashed lines with dots in between. In front view, axis is always invisible. Therefore, this is O prime and O1 prime. Next, drawing the longer edges whose length is equal to the length of axis 50 mm. In the front view, observer will be here. For the observer, you can view corners AA1, BB1, CC1 and DD1, whereas the corners FF1 and EE1 are invisible. Now marking the corners A1 prime, B1 prime, F1 prime is invisible, C1 prime, E1 prime is invisible, we have D1 prime. So this completes the front view and top view of the hexagon in the first position. Now mark the axis length and edge length of the base. Now in the second position, this hexagon should be rest on one of its corners. Since I have corners on both sides, I can either rotate counterclockwise or I can rotate clockwise. Let us use the convention what we are following. We will rotate the hexagonal prism in clockwise manner. So therefore, if I rotate it in clockwise, instead of inclining the axis, I will incline the longer edge D1 prime D prime, which is parallel to the axis. Thereby I can make the axis inclined at an angle of 40 degree to horizontal plane. I have inclined the longer edge D prime D1 prime to angle of 40 degree. Now draw the perpendiculars on the either corners of this edge whose length is equal to the base length. Mark all the corners. And also mark the axis. The axis is inclined at an angle of 40 degree. Now take the projection from bottom face both vertically downwards and horizontal. Mark all the base corners. A1, B1, D1, E1 and F1, and also we have the axis O1. Now take the projection from top face vertically downwards and also from horizontal. Mark all the corners. In the top view, observer will be here. To the observer, the farthest corner is D1 prime. So therefore, all the edges emerging from D1 prime are invisible. The edges emerging from D1 prime are D1 to D, C1 to D1 and D1 to E1. So marking D1 to D, C1 to D1 and D1 to E1 as invisible, I will get this completes the invisible edges. Now join the bottom face corners and top face corners and also the longer edges. This completes the top view in the second position, in which I cannot show the axis O1, O. So this completes the top view for the given problem in the second position. Now moving on to our third position, it states that the axis is inclined to BP at 30 degree, which is a true inclination. But if you measure the axis length O1 to O, it is less than 50 mm, which is a true length. Therefore, for 50 mm, the inclination is 30 degree. Then for this apparent dimension, how much is the inclination is the question I should find out, which is nothing but the beta angle for this problem. Let us find out the beta angle. First, you draw a line at an angle of 30 degree to vertical plane. On that line, you mark the true inclination of the axis, which is 50 mm. If I do that, I will get, if I draw 30 degree line, the drawing might enter the vertical plane. Therefore, draw a parallel line offsetting the reference line XY. Which is parallel to XY line. On this line, you mark 30 degree. Now, on this 30 degree line, which is inclined to vertical plane, mark the true length of the axis. Let us fix O and I have marked the true length of the axis. At the other end, you fix the locus. Now, measure this apparent axis length, keeping same O as reference, intersect this new locus, which is nothing but O1. Now, join O1, O, extend it to intersect the XY line. Now, measure the angle which gives you the apparent inclination beta angle. So the beta angle for this problem is 45 degree. On this O1, O as a reference, transfer this complete diagram and reconstruct on this base reference O1, O. Now mark all the corners on this reference line from D to A1. They are D, O, A, D1, O1 and A1. Therefore, I transform all the corners. The corners which I have transformed are A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and F1. I also transformed A, B, C, D, E and F. Now joining the corners of these faces in bottom and top and also connecting the longer edges, I will end up with now take the projection from the bottom face vertically upwards and from horizontal. Mark all the corners of the base. If I mark, I will get. Now take the projection vertically upwards from the top face and also from the horizontal and mark all the corners of the top face. If I do that, I will get. So this completes the projection and marking the corners of both bottom face and top face. Now in the front view, observer will be here. So for the observer, the farthest corner is E. So therefore, all the edges moving from the farthest corner E are invisible. That is, edge E to D, E to F and E to E1 are invisible. Marking which E to E1, E to D, that is E dash, D dash and E to F, that is E dash, F dash. So this is the initial invisible edges we have marked. So now join the corners in the bottom face and also in the top face. This completes the marking of edges in the bottom face as well as in the top face. Now join the longer edges. If I join the longer edges through the visual inspection itself, I can clearly state that D prime to D1 prime is invisible and also F prime to F1 prime is also invisible. As per our rule, common lines cannot cross over. Now join the remaining longer edges, that is A1 prime to A prime and C1 prime to C prime. So remaining edge is B prime to B1 prime. This completes the given problem in which the hexagonal prism is resting on HP with one of its base corners, that is D1 prime. We can see here also. I also used the same color for these two front views, which means that these two front views are of same dimensions. And also for these two top views, I have used the same color, which means that these two are of same dimensions. This completes our discussion on projection of prisms. From next class, we will be heading towards the discussion on pyramids. That's all from this lecture. Thank you.